Welcome to our kitchen. On the occasion of this year's Saturnalia, one of the most important festivals of ancient Rome, celebrated in December, today we prepare ancient Roman minuta lex precoquis, a pasta recipe with apricots and pork, from the fourth book of the Re Cucinaria. We start with ingredients. We need pork, tracta, wine, olive oil, garum, resin wine, vinegar, honey, dried shallots, dried apricots, black pepper, cumin, dill seeds, and dried mint. To prepare the tracta, we need white wheat flour with salt and water. Then we roll out small sheets of dough and leave them to dry. Tracta is a type of ancient Roman pasta. There are a few recipes in ancient sources. The one we're preparing comes from Cato's De Agricultura. But Cato also describes a tracta made with coarsely ground farro soaked in water and kneaded with flour. Whereas Athenaeus in the Hypnosophists reports a recipe by Chrysippus of Tyana for a pasta called Capuria tracta, in which flour is mixed with wine, pepper, milk, and oil or lard. According to Pliny, tracta is rolled out into a sheet. The round form is mentioned by Cato and the author of the Re Cucinaria, who also writes that it is dried. For this recipe, however, you can use either fresh or dried tracta, as you prefer, without much change in the result. If you use fresh tracta, cut it into pieces before adding it to the other ingredients. In this case, the cooking time should be shorter. We boil the meat for about 2 hours, let it cool down, and cut it into small pieces. The cooking time depends on the cut you choose. For an excellent result, it is better to use a part with a good fat content. The author recommends the shoulder and specifies that the rind should be used as well. Another type of ancient pasta is lagana. In the description below, you will find the links to Patina Quotidiana, the ancestor of lasagna, that we prepared for last year's Saturnalia, and Catillus ornatus, lagana with lettuce juice, used to prepare an ancient Greek stew, called mattues. We grind black pepper, cumin, dill seeds and dried mint. Then we add a little honey, garum, resin wine and vinegar. The author doesn't specify whether to use the leaves or the seeds of the dill. For a good balance of the ingredients, we recommend 1 part each of spices, for example a pinch, then a few mint leaves, 2 tablespoons each of garum, resin wine and vinegar, and just a little honey. Resin wine can be substituted with concentrated grape juice, a few raisins, or even mead, called aquamulsa in Latin. We cook the meat and dry the shallots with olive oil, wine, garum and water for 5 minutes. Then we add the sauce and the apricots and let them cook for a few minutes. For half a kilo of meat we used 200 grams of dried apricots. You can also use fresh apricots after removing the stones. We break the tracta, add it to the other ingredients and cook it for about 10 minutes, until tender. We serve the minutal sprinkled with pepper. To learn more about meat and pasta and the history of Italian cuisine, check out our books in the series Early Italian Recipes, dedicated to fresh and cured meat, and to cereals, bread, pasta and pies. with recipes from the antiquity to the end of the Renaissance. The first volume treats vegetables, fruit, herbs, and flowers. Each volume stands alone and can be read in any order. To learn more about ancient food, read our book Ancient Roman Cooking and check out our Patreon page, where you'll find the translations of De Re Culinaria, Catos de Agricultura, and Columellas de Re Rustica, as well as several other translations of sources and articles on historical food. Links to our books on historical food are in the description below, along with the links to Biosabir and to purchase our merchandise to support our work. This minutal was incredible, with the pasta perfectly seasoned by the light acidity of apricots, vinegar and wine, the sweetness of honey and raisin wine, the complex spiciness of Mediterranean flavors, the sapidity of garum, and the delicious fattiness of meat. A great dish for a festive occasion, for example to celebrate your Saturnalia, accompanied by other dishes of the Roman tradition, such as ofella, pork with conditum, placenta, and savillum. You'll find the links to the videos in the description below. If you're interested in ancient foods and flavors, subscribe our channel and consider supporting us on Patreon.